Hey everybody, welcome back. So here today we're going to go ahead and do a wheel bearing. I started on this yesterday and kind of made part of a video and figured out the bearing they got me was wrong. So we're going to start over with this side. We've already got the cap off, so we're going to go ahead and take all this apart, get the bearing out, and put a new one in. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is take off the brake caliper. If you've seen previous videos, you know that I use these to hold the back up on the caliper. Always start with the top bolt first, break and get loose. Break them both loose. And once they're loose, then we can go ahead and unscrew the two bolts that hold the caliper on. And then we'll move on to taking the bracket off and then the rotor itself. Once the rotor's off, the bearing's just one bolt away. So because we're just doing a wheel bearing and not doing brakes along with this, the only thing I'm going to do is just take this caliper up and flip it back here behind and just let it sit. Now the next thing I got to do is take out these two bolts here on this car. They're 18 millimeters bolt, or 18 millimeter bolt heads. So I like to use a nice long ratchet that I can get a good angle on it. And work from outside the car instead of trying to get under everything. So those bolts are both broke loose. And that bracket is out. Now I just got to grab a T30. So now you'll need your T30 to take this loose. Sometimes you may have to tap this with a hammer. I've already done that and got that free. So that comes out. We'll set the caliper down. Now these bolts here are usually very tight. Now this one's been replaced before, so I don't think they got it as tight as it's supposed to be, which may be why these bearings have prematurely failed. And we can see there are other needs for this car. It's in need of rear shocks, but for now, this is all that's been requested to do is wheel bearings. Now we're going to pull this piece here off as well. I'm going to grab our new bearing out of the box. So we're going to start with putting this piece on. We're going to actually clean this off first. Give it a good wipe down. Clean all the debris off of the wheel speed sensor, which is right here. Put that down. Slide that on. I'm going to take our new bearing and Now this thing torques to like 180 foot-pounds and then turns 180 degrees, so we're going to do that. Now that is extremely tight, and a lot of times you won't even get there because it's just so much that it's next to impossible to get these bolts as tight as I want them to. You just have to put a lot of effort into it. There's our 180. Now, because I don't have a torque angle meter, what we're going to do is put a line basically vertical right there, straight up, and then we get just a regular ratchet, and we're going to try to make that line go straight down. Now you can see this is very tight. We'll move the camera over to here so I can change the angle I'm pulling from. Now I'm putting a lot of effort into this, and I'm almost there. So like I said, these things are extremely tight, and the previous bearings weren't tight enough. Okay, so there we go. 180 foot-pounds and 180 degree turn. The next thing, put our bearing cap on. So we'll grab a small hammer. And this time I'll knock it on. So that's on. And we'll move over here again. Go ahead and get our rotor put back on. Drop our caliper bracket into place. flip our caliper back over and slide it back into place. And put our bolts back in. And there it is. Our wheel bearing is done, and it took about 11 minutes to do that. Now I know not everybody's going to do that in 11 minutes, and I was going kind of fast, but that is how to replace a wheel bearing on an Audi A4. Now this is a front-wheel drive model, so it's a little bit different. The bearing setup is not quite the same as it would be on a Quattro car, but that is how it's done. So hopefully that's helpful to somebody. I didn't say the size of the fastener for here. This is a 19mm Allen socket. So hope that helps. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Get some comments in there. Watch some other videos and help me grow the channel. Thanks very much. I'll catch you next time.